The human ship trembled as it entered the outer orbit of the nebula Vexus system. Captain Elias Hunter stared at the glowing gas clouds through the viewport of the bridge, feeling the strange pull in the hull as the ship drifted closer to the alien space station. This station was unlike anything he had ever seen. An enormous structure shaped like a spiral galaxy, with lights flickering along its arms. The alien species that ran it, the Illyrians, were known for their precision in medical technology and interstellar diplomacy. Today, Elias's mission was simple, or so he thought. The transport bay doors opened with a hiss, and the human crew disembarked carefully, their boots clanging on the metallic floors of the station. A soft, pulsating light guided them through a long corridor lined with translucent panels. Inside each panel, strange creatures floated in suspended animation, their forms glowing faintly in the soft light. The human team's task was to deliver medical supplies to the station and assist in treating a sudden outbreak of an unknown illness affecting the Illyrians. As they walked, a figure emerged from one of the side corridors, a nurse, by the human definition, but clearly not human. She was tall and slender, with iridescent skin that shimmered in shades of blue and silver. Her eyes glowed softly like twin moons, and her hands were delicate, ending in fine tendrils instead of fingers. She regarded the human team with cautious curiosity. "You are the humans assigned to aid us?" Her voice was musical, but carried a sense of alarm. Elias stepped forward and gave a polite bow. "Yes, Captain Elias Hunter. And this is my crew. We have the medical supplies you requested, and are ready to assist." The alien nurse, who introduced herself as Lyra, hesitated. Her species did not often rely on outsiders for care, especially humans, whom they considered reckless and overly emotional. But the illness had spread faster than expected, leaving few choices. "Follow me," she said, leading them down a winding corridor toward the station's medical wing. The wing was vast, filled with pods and chambers designed to monitor and treat the sick. Holographic screens floated in the air, displaying vital signs, chemical compositions, and strange symbols that the human medics struggled to comprehend. Despite the complexity, Elias remained calm. He had faced worse on distant worlds, and his presence radiated confidence, which seemed to catch Lyra's attention. "Your courage is unusual for your kind," she remarked softly, as they passed a chamber containing a gravely ill Illyrian. "Most humans panic in the face of illness. You do not." Elias smiled faintly. "We have to remain calm if we want to help." Lyra blinked slowly, a gesture of alien acknowledgement. For the first time, she felt a spark of respect for the humans. The team split into pairs, each attending different patients. Elias observed Lyra as she worked, moving gracefully between pods, adjusting controls, and speaking softly to the patients in her melodic language. Despite the advanced technology, she struggled with one particular chamber. Inside was a young Illyrian child, its body flickering with a strange light that indicated a rapid cellular breakdown. No matter what adjustments Lyra made, the readings continued to worsen. Elias approached carefully. "May I?" he asked. Lyra hesitated but then stepped aside. Elias examined the holographic display, his human intuition scanning for patterns the Illyrians might have overlooked. "The cells are reacting to the standard treatment," he murmured. "We need to stabilize the energy flow first, then administer the medication in pulses, not continuously." Lyra tilted her head, impressed by the human's insight. "You can see what we cannot. Are you certain?" Elias nodded. "I've seen similar reactions on other worlds. Trust me." Working together, they adjusted the energy flows and began the treatment. Slowly, the child's vital signs stabilized. Lyra's tendrils twitched, in surprise and relief. "Incredible, you saved it," Elias shrugged modestly. "Just teamwork." Over the next several hours, the humans assisted the Illyrian medical staff in treating dozens of patients. Every time a complication arose, Elias remained composed, guiding the team and even instructing Lyra when her knowledge fell short. With each success, the alien nurse's initial skepticism gave way to admiration. At one point, a sudden alarm blared through the wing. A containment breach had occurred in one of the quarantine chambers. Strange, luminescent spores had escaped, drifting through the air with silent menace. The humans instinctively moved to contain the spread, while Lyra's eyes widened in shock. Her species had not expected humans to react so quickly under pressure. Elias barked instructions, his voice calm yet commanding. Seal the doors. Divert the airflow. Evacuate non-essential personnel. The humans executed the orders with precision. Lyra followed, coordinating with her own staff. But she noticed how the humans anticipated each problem, moving faster than anyone expected. Once the breach was contained, Lyra turned to Elias, her glowing eyes wide. You saved us all. And so calmly. I have never seen a human act with such control under stress. Elias smiled wearily. We do what we must. Fear slows us down. Courage helps us act. For the first time, Lyra felt something unfamiliar, a sense of trust in the human. She had always believed her species superior in medical expertise, but here was a human showing qualities she had never imagined. Intelligence, bravery, and a calmness that inspired everyone around him. As the day drew to a close, the humans prepared to return to their ship. Lyra approached Elias, her tendrils brushing lightly against the console. Captain, I must admit, I misjudged you. Humans may be different, but today you proved something extraordinary. Your courage saved countless lives. Elias nodded politely. I'm glad we could help. Your people are resilient and resourceful. It was an honor to work with you. Lyra hesitated, then offered a gesture of respect that only her kind could perform, a slow, deliberate shimmer of her entire body. To humans, it was like a deep bow. But for Illyrians, it carried the weight of gratitude and admiration. As Elias returned to his ship, he glanced back at the medical wing. Lyra and her team continued to work tirelessly, but now, with renewed confidence. Somewhere in the depths of the alien station, a nurse who had doubted humans now believed in their courage and perhaps in the bond that could form between different species when they faced adversity together. The stars stretched endlessly beyond the viewport as the human crew prepared to leave. Elias looked at the swirling nebula, thinking of the lives saved, the challenges faced, and the trust earned. The universe was vast and dangerous, but moments like these reminded him why humans thrived in the unknown. Courage, intelligence, and compassion, qualities that could change the fate of worlds. And somewhere deep inside the alien nurse, Lyra, a quiet respect for the human captain, grew stronger. She would remember this day, the day when a human's courage turned fear into hope, and when she realized that heroism could come from the most unexpected of places. The ship lifted off, leaving the glowing arms of the alien station behind. In the distance, the stars shimmered, carrying the promise of new adventures, new alliances, and new stories that would forever intertwine the fates of humans and Illyrians. The human ship glided silently through the stars, leaving the Nebula Vexus system behind. Captain Elias Hunter leaned on the control panel, thinking about the events of the past day. The Illyrian station had tested his crew in ways he hadn't anticipated, but every challenge had been met with skill, calm, and teamwork. Lyra, the alien nurse, had impressed him as much as he had impressed her, though he suspected she still wrestled with her surprise at human courage. The intercom chimed, snapping him out of his thoughts. Captain, we've received a transmission from the station, reported Lieutenant Mara, his second in command. Elias tapped the screen. A holographic image flickered to life, showing Lyra standing within a softly glowing chamber. Her eyes shone with the familiar iridescent glow. Captain Hunter, she said, her voice calm but urgent. Another medical crisis has arisen. It is more serious than yesterday. We require your assistance once more. Elias straightened. What kind of crisis? A planetary colony on the fringe of our system has reported a new illness, Lyra explained. It spreads quickly and affects both Illyrians and human settlers. We cannot contain it with our current staff. Elias glanced at his crew, seeing the mix of concern and determination on their faces. Set a course, Lieutenant Mara. Maximum speed. We'll help them. Within hours, the human ship approached the colony, a sprawling settlement on a planet of ochre plains and jagged rock formations. From orbit, the colony looked almost peaceful, but the surface scanners revealed clusters of individuals exhibiting high-energy discharges in their bodies, a sign of the mysterious illness. When the team arrived, the colony's leaders met them in a reinforced medical facility. One of them, a tall human doctor named Elena, briefed Elias. "We've never seen anything like this. The patients' bodies are unstable, standard treatments don't work, and the illness spreads fast." Lyra joined them, moving gracefully through the room. Her presence calmed the humans and the Illyrian staff alike. "We have limited time," she said. "We must act quickly before it overwhelms the colony." Elias nodded. "We'll split into teams. Mara, you and Dr. Elena work with the children. I'll work with Lyra on the adults. Everyone else assist where needed. Stay sharp and communicate constantly." The teams set to work, moving with precision and focus. Elias and Lyra examined the first adult patient together. The man's energy levels flickered uncontrollably, causing discomfort and confusion. Lyra tried her usual methods, adjusting energy flow and applying the Walyrian medications, but nothing stabilized him. Elias observed carefully. "The energy is spiking because the treatment is out of sync with the patient's biorhythms," he noted. "We need to synchronize with the patient's natural cycle first, then apply medication in pulses." Lyra watched in awe as he guided the procedure. "You see what we cannot," she said quietly. Hours passed as they moved from patient to patient, applying the new method. Slowly, vital signs improved, and the flickering discharges decreased. Lyra's tendrils moved more confidently now, mimicking Elias's calm approach. Meanwhile, Mara and Dr. Elena were having their own success. Children who had appeared weak and fearful began to regain color and energy. One small girl smiled faintly, reaching for Mara's hand. Mara smiled back, feeling the warmth of trust form between human and alien alike. Suddenly, a loud alarm echoed through the facility. A structural breach had occurred in the colony's northern sector, and the illness was spreading into previously unaffected areas. Panic rippled through the staff and patients. Elias's voice cut through the chaos. "Everyone stay calm. Focus on containment and patient safety." He and Lyra ran to the northern sector, finding a crowd of patients gathered near a broken containment field. The illness manifested as bursts of energy that caused chaos if left uncontrolled. Lyra's tendrils twitched nervously. "It is spreading faster than expected. We must act now." Elias assessed the situation quickly. "We need to redirect the energy into containment channels. Use the field generators to stabilize the flow. Lyra, I need your guidance on the Walyrian systems. We'll do this together." Working side by side, human and alien aligned the energy flows, synchronizing the field generators with the patient's natural rhythms. Slowly, the uncontrolled bursts calmed. The tension in the room eased as the alarms stopped, and patients began to settle. Lyra looked at Elias, her glowing eyes wide. "Your courage. It guides others. Even in the face of overwhelming danger, you remain calm and decisive." "I did not expect such composure from a human," Elias shrugged modestly. "We learn from experience. Fear doesn't help anyone. Action does." By the end of the day, the teams had stabilized the majority of patients. Exhausted but victorious, they gathered in the main chamber. Lyra approached Elias once more. "Captain, today you have shown something remarkable. Not just bravery, but patience, intelligence, and empathy. Your actions saved this colony. You have earned my respect and the respect of my people." Elias smiled faintly, feeling a sense of satisfaction that went beyond personal achievement. It was teamwork. Humans, Illyrians, and everyone here worked together. That's what made the difference. The colony's leaders approached, gratitude evident in their expressions. "We owe you a debt," said Dr. Elena. "Without your intervention, this outbreak could have wiped out large portions of the population." Elias waved his hand. "You will recover. That is what matters." Remember, courage and collaboration are stronger than fear. That night, as the human team rested, Lyra observed them from a distance. She marveled at the way humans could act under pressure, how they faced danger without hesitation, and how they inspired those around them. Her initial shock at their abilities had grown into admiration, and perhaps even a sense of kinship she hadn't expected. Elias, lying in his bunk, thought about the day's events. The universe was filled with dangers, yet every challenge brought an opportunity to prove the strength of humanity. Humans had survived countless hardships on Earth and beyond, and here, among the stars, their courage continued to shine. Lyra's voice echoed in his mind, a reminder that sometimes it was not the technology or the knowledge that mattered most, but the courage and compassion of those willing to act in the face of uncertainty. The next morning, the human team prepared to leave the colony, but a new message arrived from the Nebula Vexis station. Lyra appeared in the holographic screen, her expression serious. "Captain Hunter, another crisis is emerging. A neighboring system reports a rare celestial phenomenon affecting both human and Illyrian settlements. We will need your help once more." Elias exchanged glances with his crew. "It seems our work is far from over. Prepare the ship. We have a new mission." As the ship lifted off, Elias felt a sense of purpose stronger than ever. Humans were explorers, healers, and protectors, capable of rising to challenges no matter how great, and wherever they went, courage and cooperation would leave a mark on the galaxy. Lyra watched the human ship disappear into the stars, her tendrils shimmering with respect and hope. She had witnessed heroism firsthand, not born of technology, but of character. She would remember this day, and every day thereafter, knowing that humans were more than she had imagined, courageous, reliable, and capable of inspiring trust across the stars. Somewhere, in the vastness of space, human and Illyrian destinies were beginning to intertwine, and the bond formed in those tense, heroic hours would shape the future of their shared worlds. The galaxy was vast, and dangers were many, but together, humans and Illyrians could face whatever came next. And so, with the stars stretching endlessly before them, the human crew of Captain Elias Hunter set course for the unknown, ready to face the next challenge, guided by courage, empathy, and the unshakable belief that together they could change the universe. The human ship sailed through the darkness of space, leaving the healed colony behind. Captain Elias Hunter stood at the viewport, watching the stars stretch into long streaks as the ship accelerated. The galaxy was alive with light and mystery, and the mission ahead promised to challenge them in ways they had never imagined. The transmission from Lyra had been brief but urgent. A neighboring system, orbiting a binary star, was experiencing unusual energy fluctuations. Entire settlements reported disruptions in power grids, communication blackouts, and strange environmental anomalies. What concerned Lyra most was the risk to both human and Illyrian populations. Elias knew this was not just another medical emergency, it was a crisis that demanded strategic thinking and calm courage. "Lieutenant Mara," Elias called. "Prepare the team. We'll need full scanning capabilities and a rapid deployment plan for when we reach the system." Mara nodded, her eyes sharp with focus. "Understood, Captain. All systems are ready, and the crew is on alert." Hours later, the ship entered the binary system. Two suns glowed intensely, their light casting long shadows across the planets below. Sensors picked up unusual energy spikes from a settlement on the third planet, a human-Illyrian hybrid colony. The readings were unstable, fluctuating rapidly and creating dangerous conditions on the surface. Elias and Lyra observed the data together. "This is more than a simple outbreak," Lyra said, her tendrils curling in thought. "The energy surges are affecting both organic and mechanical systems. If unchecked, it could destroy the settlement." Elias studied the patterns. "We'll need to stabilize the energy flow before it harms anyone. That means splitting the teams again. Some will handle the infrastructure, others the affected people. We must act fast." The ship's descent was tense. As the landing gear touched the planet's surface, alarms echoed through the control room. Mara ran diagnostics. "The energy surges are hitting the southern district hardest. Civilians there are at immediate risk. Then that's where we start, Elias said firmly. He grabbed his gear and led the team down the ramp, Lyra close behind. Her glowing presence reassured the colonists, who had gathered in fear, unsure of what was happening. The southern district was chaos. Lights flickered, machines sputtered, and the energy surges created sudden bursts of wind that knocked over equipment and debris. People shouted, running for cover. Elias quickly assessed the situation. "Everyone, stay calm," he shouted. "Follow the shelters and the emergency routes. Lyra, can you interface with the energy grid?" Lyra extended her tendrils toward the nearest control panel, connecting to the grid. "I can stabilize certain circuits, but the fluctuations are too fast. We need human intuition to predict the pattern." Elias nodded. "Then we work together. I'll direct the adjustments while you manage the connections." For hours, human and alien collaborated. Elias moved methodically, observing the surges and predicting where the next burst of energy would hit. Lyra adjusted circuits in real time, her tendrils a blur of motion. Slowly, the energy spikes began to stabilize. Nearby, Mara and her team guided civilians to safe zones, offering comfort and assistance. Children clung to her arms, trusting the humans completely, while adults looked on with growing hope. The presence of humans had brought a sense of calm that no technological solution alone could provide. Suddenly, a massive surge hit the northern district. A building collapsed under the force, and debris flew toward a group of trapped colonists. Elias reacted immediately. He shouted to Mara, "Cover the people, move them out of the path." Using quick thinking, Elias guided Lyra to redirect the energy surge into a containment field. The ground shook, and sparks flew, but the surge was contained. The trapped colonists were freed, shaken but unharmed. Lyra looked at him, astonished. "Your ability to act under pressure. It is remarkable. You assess, anticipate, and respond. I have never seen such coordination in any species." Elias shrugged, wiping sweat from his brow. "We do what we must. Fear slows action. Courage speeds it up." By the end of the day, the human Illyrian team had stabilized the energy flows and secured the settlement. Colonists began repairing infrastructure with guidance from both human and Illyrian experts. Families were reunited, and the fear that had gripped the planet slowly lifted. That evening, Elias met with the settlement leaders and Lyra in the central command chamber. Holographic maps displayed the repaired districts and stabilized systems. "The immediate danger is over," Lyra said, "but we must remain vigilant. The cause of these surges is still unknown. Something in this system is generating unpredictable energy patterns. Further investigation is required." Elias nodded. "We'll stay until we understand the source. Humans do not abandon challenges half-solved." As night fell over the settlement, Elias walked among the colonists, observing the repairs and interactions. Children played under the soft glow of emergency lights. Adults coordinated repairs, and Illyrian technicians collaborated with human engineers. The harmony of different species working together was inspiring. It reminded Elias why humans could thrive anywhere their ability to adapt, inspire, and lead. Lyra followed him quietly. "Captain, may I speak freely?" "Of course," Elias replied. "I have seen courage before. But humans possess a unique quality. You act not for reward, but because it is necessary. You inspire others to act bravely as well. Today, you reminded us that courage is contagious." Elias smiled faintly. "It is not just me. Everyone who helps, human or Illyrian, contributes. Courage spreads when people trust one another." Lyra considered his words, her glowing eyes thoughtful. "I will remember this lesson. And I will teach my people that humans are not just capable. They are exceptional in ways we did not fully understand." The next morning, Elias and his team prepared for the next step. Tracing the source of the energy surges. Scanners indicated a strange crystalline formation deep within the planet's mountains, radiating unstable energy waves. "This is it," Elias said, pointing at the readings. "Whatever is causing this, We need to neutralize it before it spreads further. Lyra's tendrils twitched with concern. The formation is unlike anything we have encountered. Its energy is powerful and unpredictable. Approach with caution. The human team suited up for a ground mission. Elias led them into rugged terrain, Lyra by his side. The climb was treacherous, with jagged rocks and occasional energy spikes creating dangerous arcs of light across the mountainside. Hours passed, but finally, they reached the source, a massive crystalline structure, glowing with shifting colors and pulsing energy. The ground around it vibrated with power, and the air was thick with charged particles. Elias observed the formation carefully. We need to stabilize it without causing a collapse. Lyra, can you interface with your systems here? Lyra extended her tendrils, touching the crystal. It resonated, sending ripples of energy through the ground. I can redirect some of the energy, but it is unstable. We must synchronize human intuition with Illyrian control to avoid disaster. Elias nodded. Then let's do it together. For hours, they worked side by side, adjusting energy flows, redirecting spikes, and stabilizing the structure. Every human and Illyrian on the team contributed, moving with focus and calm. Slowly, the pulses softened, and the crystalline structure became stable. When the last surge subsided, Elias stepped back, breathing heavily but smiling. Lyra's tendrils quivered in relief. Captain Hunter, you have done it again. You faced the unknown, acted with courage, and prevented catastrophe. My respect for humans grows with every challenge. Elias looked at the team, exhausted but triumphant. This is what humans do. We rise to challenges, protect others, and keep moving forward. And together, we can face anything. As they returned to the settlement, the colonists cheered. The humans had not only stabilized their home, but had shown them the power of courage, collaboration, and determination. Lyra, walking beside Elias, felt a deep sense of admiration. Humans were more than capable, they were extraordinary. The sun rose over the repaired settlement, casting warm light across the plains. Elias gazed at the horizon, knowing that the galaxy held countless dangers, but also countless opportunities to prove the strength of humanity. Wherever challenges arose, humans would meet them, guided by courage, intelligence, and compassion. And in the heart of Lyra, the alien nurse, a quiet thought settled. The humans were not just visitors or allies, they were heroes, capable of inspiring hope and changing the fate of worlds with nothing more than their courage and determination. The stars awaited, and so did the next adventure. The human ship hovered above the repaired settlement, the morning sun glinting off the plains. Captain Elias Hunter stood at the viewport, reviewing the latest scans from Lyra. The crystalline energy source in the mountains was stable, but new anomalies had been detected farther out in the system, energy fluctuations that could threaten other colonies if left unchecked. Lyra appeared on the holographic display, her glowing form radiant with a mixture of concern and determination. Captain Hunter, the system is not yet safe. The anomalies extend beyond this planet. We must investigate their origin, or risk further disasters. Elias nodded. Then we do what we do best. Prepare the teams. We're going to the source. Hours later, the human Illyrian teams descended to the surface of a distant moon in the binary system. This moon was rocky and jagged, with craters glowing faintly from the strange energy beneath the surface. The anomaly originated from a cavern deep within the largest crater. As the teams approached, sensors detected fluctuating energy fields so strong that electronic devices flickered unpredictably. Elias glanced at Lyra. This is it. We need to neutralize whatever is causing these surges before it spreads to inhabited systems. Lyra's tendrils twitched nervously. The energy here is unstable. Approach carefully. Even a small miscalculation could trigger catastrophic reactions. The teams moved cautiously, carrying portable field stabilizers and energy dampeners. Elias led the way, his human intuition guiding each step through the treacherous terrain. Mara and the other human medics coordinated with Illyrian technicians to monitor the energy spikes, predicting where the next surge might hit. As they entered the cavern, the scale of the anomaly became clear. The crystalline formations pulsed with raw energy, sending arcs of light across the cavern walls. The energy radiated in unpredictable patterns, and the air vibrated with the hum of power. "Captain," Lyra said, her voice tense, "the formations are linked. If we do not stabilize the central crystal, the surges will propagate and destroy any settlements nearby." Elias surveyed the cavern. "Then the central crystal is our target. We'll need a coordinated effort. Human intuition and Illyrian control must work in harmony." Teams spread out. Humans adjusted energy flow patterns based on predictive calculations, while Illyrian technicians monitored the complex systems. Elias and Lyra approached the central crystal together, analyzing its structure and energy output. "It's enormous," Lyra said. "I have never seen energy behave like this. It resists stabilization," Elias observed carefully. "It's not resisting, it's reacting to our methods. We need to align our actions with its natural rhythm." Lyra tilted her head, her eyes glowing. Elias nodded. "Exactly. Let's work with it, not against it." For hours, they adjusted the stabilizers, observing the crystal's energy pulses and predicting the next fluctuation. Slowly, the surges began to smooth out. Sparks of uncontrolled energy dimmed, and the cavern's vibrations decreased. Then, a massive surge erupted from the central crystal. The cavern shook violently, debris falling from above, and the teams were thrown off balance. Elias shouted instructions, guiding both humans and Illyrians to safety while directing the stabilizers. Lyra's tendrils moved swiftly, adjusting the alien systems to support Elias's strategy. Together, human intuition and Illyrian technology contained the surge. The crystal's energy, once wild and chaotic, began to pulse steadily, its light calming to a soft glow. The cavern settled, and the threat was neutralized. Lyra exhaled, her body shimmering with relief. "Captain Hunter, you have done it. You faced danger beyond imagination, and coordinated a solution that neither species could have achieved alone. Your courage and insight saved countless lives." Elias smiled faintly, exhausted but satisfied. It was teamwork. Humans, Illyrians, and the colonists, we all contributed. Courage is only effective when combined with action and collaboration. The teams began the ascent from the cavern, their task completed. Colonists in nearby settlements, watching from a safe distance, cheered as the humans and Illyrians emerged, victorious. Children waved, and adults expressed gratitude, their faces reflecting relief and hope. Back at the central command chamber of the human ship, Lyra approached Elias. "Captain, I have seen many heroes among my people, but humans possess a quality that is rare. You act decisively, inspire others, and remain calm even in overwhelming danger. You are an example of what your species can achieve." Elias looked out at the stars. "I appreciate your words, Lyra. But heroism is not about recognition. It's about doing what must be done to protect others. That's what we teach ourselves every day. Eles. I. Eles. I." Lyra nodded, understanding deepening. "Then let it be known among my people. Humans are not merely survivors. They are capable of greatness. You have earned our respect and admiration." As the ship prepared to depart, Elias reflected on the journey. From the initial mission to deliver medical supplies to the Illyrian station, to stabilizing colonies and confronting the energy anomalies, humans had demonstrated their ability to face the unknown. Their courage, intelligence, and compassion had bridged worlds and species, forging bonds that would last across the stars. Mara approached him quietly. "Captain, the crew is ready. Systems are stable. Shall we return to our home base?" "Captain, the crew is ready." Elias nodded. "Yes. But remember, our work is never truly finished. The universe is vast, full of challenges and opportunities. Wherever we are needed, we will go." Lyra lingered near the viewport, watching the stars streak past as the ship lifted off. "Captain Hunter," she said softly, Humans are truly remarkable. I will carry the lessons of this mission back to my people. Today, you reminded us that courage, empathy, and intelligence can overcome even the greatest challenges. Elias turned to her. And you reminded us that trust and cooperation across species make the impossible possible. As the ship accelerated into hyperspace, the galaxy unfolded before them, full of wonders and mysteries. Elias knew that humans had a role to play in shaping the future, not through domination or conquest, but through courage, wisdom, and compassion. Wherever danger arose, wherever life was threatened, humans would rise to protect, heal, and inspire. Lyra watched from the holographic display, a sense of awe settling within her. Humans had proven themselves not only capable, but heroic. The lessons learned in these missions would resonate among her people for generations. The bond forged between humans and Illyrians, born of courage and collaboration, would ensure that future crises were met with confidence and hope. The stars stretched endlessly ahead, and the human crew of Captain Elias Hunter sailed onward, ready for whatever lay beyond the horizon. They carried with them not only their skills and knowledge but the essence of humanity itself. The ability to face the unknown with courage, to act with compassion, and to inspire hope wherever they went. And somewhere across the galaxy, the Illyrians would remember this day, the day humans demonstrated that even in the vastness of space, heroism, intelligence, and empathy could shine brighter than any star. The mission had ended, but the story of courage, cooperation, and interspecies trust would continue. Humans and Illyrians had walked together through danger, faced the unknown, and emerged stronger, united by a shared belief in doing what is right. And that belief would carry them, and countless others, into the future. As Elias gazed at the stars, he smiled, knowing that no matter what the galaxy held, humanity would always meet it with courage, wisdom, and heart.